But what happened was that when the magazines came out about 2 months later, it took a little time back then. There was no internet. This is 1968 when the magazines did come out, and I saw the photos. I looked at Arnold. Arnold, sure enough, was much bigger than Zane, but he was very pasty, had no tan, and he was very bulky. And Zane was tan and cut and, much smaller, but much more finished.
Yeah.
And I said to myself, well, Zane actually deserved to win, Now, the interesting part of the story is that many, many years later, I mean, this is like, I think was Arnold, I think it might have been when he was the governor of California. My phone rings, and I hear a voice. He says, "Hello, Jerry, this is Arnold." And I said, "Oh, God." I said, I figured somebody's playing a joke on me, imitating Arnold. I said, "Okay, who is this?" I said, I have to admit, you got his voice down really good. But who is this? He says, "No, this is really Arnold." He says, "I got your number from John Balick." He wanted to ask me, he was going to give a speech and he wanted to talk about nutrition, and he wanted to know when protein powders were first introduced. So we chatted a little bit, and I remember how I said, "Listen," I said, "I'm going to test you." I said, only the real Arnold would know this. I said, when Arnold mixed his protein drinks, he would add an unusual ingredient to it. Only Arnold would know this. What did he add? He says, "Oh, you're talking about the schnapps." It really is you, Arnold. Arnold used to add a little bit of whiskey to it.
Oh, really?
He thought that would cause because he knew that alcohol is absorbed very rapidly.
Yeah.
So he thought the alcohol would pull the protein in his body faster. that was early form of bro science.
Right.
But hey, but looking at Arnold, what are you going to argue with the guy?
Right. It worked.
It worked. So I said to him, Arnold, I said, "Do you remember that conversation we had many years ago where you told me that you should have beaten Frank Zane and you showed me the protein?" He says, "No, the truth of the matter is Frank Zane was the better man that night and he deserved to win."
Wow.
And I said, "Oh, that's big of you to say that, Arnold." I mean, he says, "Oh, it was the truth." Yeah. He said, I came over a little raw. It was a different level of competition here. You had to be harder, and I made some changes, and you know the rest." He goes. I said, "Yeah." That was that story.
Yeah. Bodybuilding Heroes and Legends Volume 1 by John Hansen is the book that celebrates the golden age of bodybuilding. This was the era in which legends such as Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sergio Oliva, Frank Zane, Robbie Robinson, Cal Scalak, and Mike Menser battled it out on stage for the biggest titles in bodybuilding. Read about some of the most exciting competitions that took place in the 1970s, including the Oliva-Schwarzenegger battles, Zane's first Olympia victory, and Scalak's controversial Mr. Olympia appearance, and much more. Filled with inspiring images of some of the greatest bodybuilders in the history of the sport, Bodybuilding Heroes and Legends Volume 1 is now available on Amazon.com, or email John directly at naturalolympia@gmail.com.